Hello, hello. Today is the 26th of October of my October Bible reading of my favorite book of First Samuel because it has 31 chapters and 31 days in October, so I'm reading all chapters every one single day. Ah. Well, as you can see, today is the 26th. Happy birthday to me. I'm 33 now, which I don't know how to feel about. But it's today. So, we move on. We're in the 26th chapter. I'm going to read this. So, I'm reading from the King James Version. If you want to know, you can join along if you wish. Have a straw in my mouth if you're first time watcher because heat stroke thing happened. Our army can't talk around so I bite down something. Moving on. All right. Chapter 26. And the Ziphites came unto Saul to Gibeah, saying, Does not David hide himself on the hill of Hekiah, which is before Jeshimon? Then Saul rose and went down to the wilderness of Ziph, having 3,000 chosen men of Israel with him, to seek David in the wilderness of Ziph. And Saul pitched in the hill of Hachilah, which is before Jeshimon, by the way, but David abode in the wilderness. And he saw that Saul came after him in the wilderness. See, Saul said, "Oh yeah, I'm not going to come after you." Samuel died. Now he's coming after him again. David therefore sent out spies and understood that Saul was come in very deed. And David arose and came to the place where Saul had pitched. And David beheld the place where Saul lay. And Abner, the son of Ner, the captain of the host, and Saul lay in a trench. And the people pitched around about him. Then answered David and said to Ahimelech the Hittite, and to Abishai the son of Zeruiah, something like that, brother of Joab, saying, Who will go down with me to Saul in the camp? And Abishai said, I will go down with you. So David and Abishai came to the people by night, and behold, Saul lay sleeping within the trench, and his spear stuck in the ground at his bolster. But Abner and the people lay right about him. Saul just keeps having that spear. Then said Abishai to David, God has delivered thine enemy thy hand this day. Now therefore let me smite him, I pray thee, with the spear, even to the earth that once, and I will not need to smite him a second time. Then David said to Abishai, Destroy him not, for who can stretch forth his hand against the Lord's anointed and be guiltless? David said, Therefore, more as the Lord lives, the Lord shall smite him, or his day shall come to die, or he shall descend into battle and perish. The Lord forbid should I stretch forth my hand against him, the Lord's anointed. But I pray thee, take now the spear that is at the bolster and the cruse of water, and let us go. So David took the spear and the cruse of water from Saul's bolster, and they gat him away. And no man saw it, nor knew it, because neither waked, for they were all asleep, because a deep sleep from the Lord was fallen upon them. Then David went over to the other side, and stood on the top of a hill afar off, a great space being between them. And David cried to the people, and said to Abner the son of Ner, saying, Answerest thou not me, Abner? Then Abner answered and said, Who art thou that criest to the king? And David said to Abner, Art you not a valiant man, and who is like to thee in Israel? Wherefore hast you not kept thy lord the king? For there came one to the people to destroy the king thy lord. This thing is not good, and thou hast done. As the Lord lives, you are worthy to die, because you have not kept your master, the Lord's anointed. And I'll see where the king's spear is, and the cruse of water that was at his bolster. And Saul knew David's voice, and said, Is this thy voice, my son David? And David said, It is my voice, my lord, O king. And he said, Wherefore does my lord thus pursue after his servant? For what have I done, or what evil is in my hand? Now therefore I pray thee, let my lord king hear the words of thy servant. If the Lord has stirred you up against me, let him set an offering. But if they be children of men, cursed be they before the Lord. For they have driven me out of this day from abiding in the inheritance of the Lord, saying, Go serve other gods. Now therefore let not my blood fall to the earth before the face of the Lord. For the king of Israel has come out to seek a flea, as when one does hunt a partridge in the mountains. Then Saul said, I have sinned. Return, my son David, for I no more do thee harm. Because my soul was precious in thine eyes this day. Behold, I have played the fool and have erred exceedingly. And David answered and said, Behold the king's spear. I will let one of his young men come over and fetch it. The Lord rendered every man his righteousness and his faithfulness. For the Lord delivered you into my hand this day. But I would not stretch forth my hand against the Lord's anointed. And behold, as your life was much set by this day in mine eyes, so let my life be much set in your eyes before the Lord, and let him deliver me out of all tribulation. Then Saul said to David, Blessed be thou, my son David, thou shalt do great things, and you shall also prevail. So David went his way, and Saul returned to his place. Yeah, David wasn't going to return back with Saul, because he knew he can't trust Saul. He knew Saul was going to keep coming after him, and after him, and after him. It was just a bad obsession, bad hatred that he just couldn't break out of him. It's weird, sad, unfortunate. Much other stuff, but unfortunately, that's what happened. But out of 3,000 men surrounding the king, they were able to walk right through him because, again, the Lord helped them. It's not a thing of like, oh, Saul's a terrible guy and you want to hate him and stuff like that. No, it's a tragic thing in a way because it's just like Saul. You see how many times the Lord's trying to tell you something and then you don't do it, or this and that. It's just woe unto us too, you know. But alrighty, well, we'll see you in the next one. This was the 26th. We'll see you tomorrow for the 27th. Goodbye.